I hear that the market is looking pretty active today, especially with respect to Zenith Bank.
Yes, Zenith Bank is doing pretty an enormous volume this morning. It's done over 1 billion naira in terms of value, 75 million units. Except it's the major driver of volume this morning. The market, as of now, has done more than what we did yesterday in terms of volume. The market is already up for about 1.6 billion naira as against 1.3 billion for the whole of yesterday.
Right.
Basically, Zenith Bank is the mover, is the driver of that volume.
Okay, but any reason why you think investors are moving into Zenith Bank so aggressively?
I wouldn't know the reason. It's still very early to find out. Why and who is doing the deal this morning. But I know it could, at the end of the day, be one person, one major, or a stakeholder selling part of his stake in the company. That is what I suspect. But it's still early. It's early for now to know who is doing the deal this morning.
Okay, let's move to Olakanmi Oil. It's one of the few agro-allied companies listed on this exchange. They released results today. How's the market reacting to that? I see PBT down to 2.9 billion from 3.1 billion.
Yes, Olakanmi Oil just released its result for the half year. PAT was 2.4 billion as against 2.8 billion for last year. Yet the result is slightly below what we had last year, and the stock is a little bit down this morning. But to me, the result is still okay. The turnover was up from last year. 5.7 billion last year to 6.1 billion this year. The major reason for the decrease in profit is as a result of the OPEX going up significantly from 1.1 billion to 1.9 billion. Yeah. But if you look at the result from the earnings per share perspective, earnings per share at this level at 2.4 billion PAT is still roughly about over 4 naira per share. And if you analyze that one for the year, you see earnings per share of going close to over 8 naira. For a stock trading at 30 naira, P ratio will be less than 4. I think it's still a very good result.
But I'm seeing the market react negatively though to that. I can see the price is slightly lower today.
Yeah, the price is slightly lower, like I said. But this, if you look at the stock from the beginning of this year, it's done up to 50% return. So you can expect that nothing will happen again this year on the stock. The corporate action for last year has been paid, which was 5 naira for the whole of last year. So people will not do any major, make any major move on the stock until towards the end of the year, when you expect corporate action coming for next year.
Okay, hey, so that result already priced in. I hear what you're saying there. Okay, but a final point for me, any month-end effects, of course, today is the last trading day of the month. To what extent is this a factor in market activity?
Well, if you look at the market for the past few days, the volume has been down. Last week, for most of last week, we were doing over 2 billion per day. But yesterday, you see that we only did about 1.3, which might not be as a result of people trying to just look for how to manage their book for the year, for the month end, watch your ratios and whatever. So people may not be focused on trading, but looking on how to get your ratios right for the month. So that is one of the reasons I think people are not actively trading for yesterday. But also if you look at today, like I said, the volume is high up there, but that is as a result of Zenith Bank only. If you back out Zenith Bank volume from the market this morning, it's still nothing to write home about. And also, as for month-end liquidity, everybody watches liquidity, and that is what I think is happening. But as we move into new months, you expect people to trade freely without watching any ratio at the beginning of the month. So as from tomorrow, you might see volume coming back into the market.